So today marks 3 years since Orkambi was licensed in the EU. It's still unavailable, not only for patients in the UK, but more than half of patients outside of the US because of the price. In those 3 years, the level of unnecessary suffering is in front of you. We're all parents, loved ones, brothers, sisters of children who are alive and suffering, and people who have died. More than 200 eligible patients have died in those 3 years, people who could have had a greater quality of life and longer with their loved ones. Our son, 8 years old, has lost 27% of his lung function and now has an antibiotic-resistant infection in his lungs, which he may never clear. How different those 3 years could have been. On this petition, there are 70,000 signatures of people who are involved, or people who just see the immorality of this situation. Vertex has $3.1 billion in the bank. It's going to make $1.2 billion net profit this year, yet it says it can't drop its price. A price of £104,000 per year, per patient, for life. Can you imagine the cost of that? What country could afford that? So our kids continue to suffer. I'm going to give this to you. There's lots of comments. I'd just like to read one, which I think sums it up well, from Emily B, who's here today and is personally affected. Vertex, you've done an amazing job developing these drugs, which can reduce the suffering, extend the lifespan of those affected with cystic fibrosis. Now you need to do the right thing and make them available to those that need them, rather than pricing them out of our reach. What's a bit of extra profit compared to the real and actual suffering of thousands of children and adults and young deaths that could be avoided? We urge Vertex and you as their representative, do the right thing, lower the price, give our children the drugs.
So, first of all, thank you everyone for coming again on such a cold day. It's so important that people like us hear your voice. I want you to know that I will make sure that everybody who is involved in the access conversations in the UK will see this, read this, and hear your voice. I also want you to know that we are working tirelessly to do everything that we can to help people have access to our medicines in the UK. And I can't comment any more than that, I'm afraid, today, for two reasons. One of which is we are actually in discussions with NHS in England and NICE, and more importantly, we're also engaged in a parliamentary process with the Health Select Committee, which means that I'm afraid I can't say any more than that today. But thank you so much. It's incredibly important, and I'll make sure that your voice is heard inside the company.
Has the Health Committee's action prompted a rethink on your part?
So all I can say on the Health Select Committee is that we're positively engaging in the process, and we're engaged in the Health Select Committee.
You haven't got much time left at the end of the month. Do you think you'll be able to reach agreement by then?
Fred, I can't comment anymore. It would be completely inappropriate. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Thank you so much for coming.
Can I just say, I've met you, or I've talked to you on the telephone, and I've talked to you through emails, Liam McCoo from Northern Ireland. And I just want to say the importance that this is today, that myself and my wife and a few other families from Northern Ireland have flew over especially for this today. This shows you what it means. We need this drug as soon as possible. Please do.
All right, thank you everyone.